So hello. So as we have heard from the group before, Doka is one of the world's leading companies specializing in formwork technology for concrete construction. And if we consider taking such a business digital, then we should also consider the 4 incumbent digital business models as have been described by Weil and Werner in 2015. So here we have the suppliers, the omnichannel businesses, the modular producers, and the ecosystem drivers. So suppliers need to ensure that they remain adaptive, producing high quality content. The omnichannel businesses must focus heavily on great customer experience. The modular producers offer this kind of plug and play services. So they need to also continuously innovate and be able to integrate with any kind of platform, no matter what the technology is. And the ecosystem drivers, obviously the most interesting ones, but they must cover all the bases. So this is why it's really so hard to do these kind of businesses. So companies must also develop the right strategies to compete in the business model they want to move toward, and must be equipped with better customer knowledge and multi-channel experiences or partnerships. And obviously, as we have heard also the whole day today, great leadership is required to really guide them through such a transformation. And my colleagues Mathieu and Audrey will now speak more about it now.
Yes, thank you. So as a supplier, you provide what your customer ordered to you. Even if there are some challenges, you need to provide something very high quality, but you have a request and then you fulfill it, basically. So if you want to move from supplier position to the omni-channel business, you need to really focus on your customer, on the end consumer. So you need to tighten your relationship with your customer. Like you can organize live events, meetings. Yes, to understand what do you want, what are his problems, and what are its goals, and maybe why not understand its strategy to propose more and to anticipate its needs, to have a step in advance. So as the customer is a key element of your strategy, even more now, you must communicate this message internally. So you have to amplify customer voice inside your company. You diversify your offer, your technologies, so you need more expertise and technology knowledge, and also more channels. That's why we talk about multi-product and multi-channel customer experiences. So we see that the business model begins to change, and now we will see how we make a step further with the ecosystem driver business design.
In order to develop an ecosystem transformation, there is a need to be first choice in a space for end customers, and also to have partnerships and acquisition of high skills like Concrefy, the Concremote data center. Then the service-enabled core business transaction proof interfaces are also relevant with data that can be retrieved anytime, anywhere with via secure web portal. And also compliance as a competence with standard compliant information. I let my colleague Valentine continue.
Yes, thank you, Audrey. So about the digital transformation of the business. So here we're talking about concrete, and it will go through a chemical reaction that is basically hydration, and it will make the concrete harden. And the issue is that we need to know when the concrete is strong enough in order to do the next step of the construction. Otherwise, we lose money, and on the construction site, more than ever, time is money. So this is why in the first step, we will digitalize machines. So we will add sensors in order to be able to know when the concrete is strong enough. And this is, so the first step, we will have information, and just the information of when it's ready. If we look at it in the broader sense, we can also get information on maintenance. So over time, we can maybe identify if there is a problem. Then in a second step, we will put together information from the whole construction site in order to be able to optimize the whole step of construction of the site. So maybe you can do this part of the concrete before this one, because this one will dry for, it's not drying, it's hydrating, but it will hydrate for a few days while you can work on this part of the construction site, and you will be able to gain time over the whole construction. There is a 1.1 step of the platform where you can have multiple projects and base your data and also on other projects in order to be able to optimize better. And the last phase of the transformation will be the digitalization of business ecosystem. Here we have so much data, historical data, then we can predict also for new construction site in how we can optimize this. And so this is when we can actually offer the full service. And now Alex will tell you a little bit more about how we can integrate IP into this digital business transformation.
Thank you very much. So in the digital transformation, there usually happens a development, and this development can also be translated into different layers of value creation in the business model. And of course, also here in our Concremote case, usually those developments, they happen from they go from the physical world, so to say, in the digital world. So we set out here from the physical product, which is our formwork that is enriched then by sensors. And there we enter already a little bit the digital world. In the third layer, we have the connectivity with the communication between the sensors. And in the fourth layer, it's all about analytics and the data and calculation of the earliest stripping time. And then the last layer, we have really the digital service that also entails all the customer benefits. So it's the user benefit of creating the best concrete at each building site, no matter where you are. And you always know when is the best stripping time, and that leads to the ultimate cost benefit of reduced costs and also reduced time. So we have the digital ecosystem here. In addition, as a result also from the physical product, that forms our digital, transformated, and IP-backed also customer benefits that we can exclusify through IP.
Thank you, Alex. Now we'll have a look at the digital business transformation and IP strategy. As Alex has already mentioned, with the digital transformation, we come into a new business model, which comprises 5 different layers, in which we have the physical product, integrated by sensors and actuators, and bringing information that again through connectivity will bring us will bring the customers with new benefits. All this digital ecosystem will arise as well some new potential competitors' entrance in the market. So at the end, we need to be sure that we can exclusify our competitive advantages and make them sustainable in order to make the business sustainable. So it is very important now that we use digital patents to protect all elements that are needed for this digital business model. And we have to also know that besides granting this exclusivity through traditional patents, this can be done also twice through the new digital patents. So with all new competitors that were coming from different industries and were not competitors back in other times, now they're coming into the industry, but through all these IP, we can sustain our competitive advantages. And now I will lead to Ian, who will have a word on the digital construction side.
Thank you. Here we see a digital construction site in action. And it's important to understand that the backbone of a digital construction site is a building information model. That's a digital database allowing all contributors in all phases of a building to work on a common database. This starts in the planning and design phase with architects and construction engineers, goes on to the construction phase, which we show here is shown here in a subset. With all contractors and construction companies, also the suppliers, and it finally goes to the actually finished building, where we have also the facility management working on the same data set. Here we have a subset of such a building information model that can be a digital concrete register. It can be an important tool to monitor the quality of concrete. It's important to understand that the quality of concrete is really a really crucial parameter when it comes to the durability and success of durability of a building and the success of a production processes. And we have seen in the past again and again that even big and costly construction projects actually fail because of bad quality of the concrete. So in this digital concrete register, the two partners here, which is the mixing plant and the construction companies, actually feed in their data. They also receive data. For example, the mixing plant can receive requirements of the concrete from the building information model, then produces the concrete in time. This is an in time product. Actually, it doesn't have to, it can be stored. It must be, as soon as it's finished, it must be brought to the construction site and used. That also means that all the preparation work at the construction site must be prepared. So we have like a whole data system where all the data that is collected, like the mixing parameters, the casting parameters, but also the curing parameters, as we've learned from these sensors, are actually collected in the digital concrete register, so that the quality assurance can be done in time. And if it's not in the scope, in the borders of the desired quality, rework can be done in an early phase of the construction. Thank you very much.